Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, lately it seems many become unhappy or bitter or just disillusioned with where they are on their journey. Things aren't happening as they would like. They feel like they are in limbo, and quite frankly, they're tired of the waiting. It's got to end. Everything about it just feels wrong. I pretend being close is where I don't belong. Well, my back is to the sun because the light is too intense. I can see what everybody in the room is up against. I'll stay here where I can feel the hand of fate. And I don't know how much longer I can wait. You ever feel that way? Well, we're in the last month of the year. You're only waiting on yourself. Those thoughts will come up as you begin the process of internal healing, readying yourself for the examination of self and commitment to improve where you see the need for you to improve. It's your healing of yourself, and in healing yourself, my friends, you help heal the world. At times that we do become unhealthy. A negative feature of our personality is the tendency to become bitter, harsh, and inflexible. Even hard-hearted, ruthless, perhaps even vengeful. Watch for this in yourself today. Friends, whatever's occurring in the present moment is what we need to deal with right now. Staying with our real experience of ourselves and our situation will teach us exactly what we need to know for growth. By relaxing our bodies, quieting the chatter of our minds, and allowing our hearts to open and to be more sensitive to our situation, we open up to the very inner qualities and resources that can help us grow. So let's grow together and gather and welcome everybody we know as a community of like-minded, like-souled individuals in search of unification of spirit, a collective consciousness of seekers, in a showing of faith, of love, a community, a chavurah, of fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, unity, community, together. Because as a community, my friends, let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. Remember, friends, this is your sending out some of the goodwill that we all generate out to the universe where it'll do the most good. That sacred time and space was designed to be the Sabbath when we cease our day-to-day activity. Whatever day your Sabbath, and Sabbath means ceasing. So whatever day your ceasing happens to be. Spend time with family, with friends, with loved ones. We have that brief chance to both praise and imitate God, creation, life itself, whatever you want to call it. We may not always be aware of what's happening, but God is always aware and is always telling us, always talking to us. The question really is, are we listening? Now, Einstein once had this advice for a colleague of his at Princeton, who was having great difficulty with a project he was researching. Should not be depressed by the enormity of the problem. If God has created the world, his primary worry was certainly not to make its understanding easy for us. So sometimes it takes us a little longer to know what we need to do. But all we have to do is listen, because God knows there's an answer. God knows it's all in place. God knows it might be working right now. Look at us right straight in the face. Ain't no rhyme or reason. No, it can't be wrong. It's supposed to last a season, but it's been so strong for so long. And it has been. It's been for all of eternity. God's been talking to us. So let's take a moment to invoke answers and healing and renewal for everyone everywhere, for everybody you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you know, So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people, my friends. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the earth, the tikkun olam, that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Friends, our perception of the world is that it's a work in progress, and that's why we are obliged to fix it by fixing ourselves. That's the meaning of tikkun olam. As we fix ourselves, we fix the world around us. Let's end some renewal, some healing for Adrian, for Snoopy, for Dolores, for John, for Jen and Alex and Sasha, for Bob, for Karen and Joey, for the bee. And of course, my friends, renewal for all of you, because you need renewal too. It's the kind healing wishes, goodwill, love we all send out. It circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is the spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us sing. Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, because we call upon God to heal as He's healed before. Misha Barak, may He who blessed, because healing is a blessing. Let's all heal. So we pray for renewal and show gratitude for the wonders of our lives. Now this week we're reading Shoftim, the Judges, as we whip right through that book of Deuteronomy. This is the retelling of the suggestion of Jethro way back when, that judges need to be put in place. We're told a fascinating thing, Deuteronomy 16:18. You shall put judges and officers in all your gates that the Lord your God is giving you for your tribes, and they shall judge the people, judgment with justice. Now, you kind of wonder, why should they need to be saying that? Judgment and justice are not the same thing. Judges and lawyers are part of an incredibly noble endeavor of humankind, the law. But when they fail to pursue justice in their performance of judgment, they pervert and degrade the law and demean humankind. We're also told, you shall not bend judgment. You shall not recognize a face. You shall not take a bribe, because bribery will blind the eyes of the wise and undermine the words of the virtuous. Again, do we need to be told this? Isn't that obvious? Isn't that automatic? Well, one must pursue justice for everybody. In a civil case, for the plaintiff and for the defense, and in a criminal matter for the prosecution, the people, and for, again, the defense, the defendant. It's the natural thing. We shouldn't have to be told, but we have to be told, because that's the nature of man. And how are things in a criminal matter to be decided? That also, the fact that they're telling us how this has to be done is really significant, because Deuteronomy 17:6, on the word of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses. So it's not one person. It has to be a minimum of 2, maybe even 3. Shall the one who is to die be put to death? Which shall not be put to death on the word of one witness. The witness's hand shall be on him first to put him to death, and all the people's hands after that. Now, see, it takes more than one, and there is involvement. And witnesses have to know that. If they testify against somebody in a capital case, they're going to have to strike the first blow on behalf of the people against the defendant themselves. It conveys how serious their testimony is. But it at least is as significant that all the people participate in the execution as well. Right? Capital punishment is the act of a community in ancient biblical times for the Israelites. And so this was something that was very unique. In biblical law, the community had to know that if they were going to have capital punishment, they had to understand it meant that they as a community, as a whole, were going to be taking lives. And so there could be no mistaking this point. The entire community must participate in the execution. Now, in post-biblical societies like ours, where the entire people do not participate personally, this point is easily forgotten. But it is true all the same. A community that has capital punishment is responsible as a community for all of the lives that it takes. It's not just the executioner. It's not just the witnesses. It's not just the courts. And perhaps this fact that in ancient Israel, all the people had to carry out the execution was one of the forces that led Israel to make capital punishment almost impossible in rabbinic law. The rest of the Middle East and the rest of the world, not an issue. In Israel, almost impossible. And at the same time, they put provision for change in here for all the laws. Deuteronomy 17:8. If a matter for judgment will be too daunting for you, being too difficult, between blood and blood, between law and law, between injury and injury. So whatever it was, for any kind of a legal matter, matters of dispute in your gates, you shall get up and go to the place that your God will choose. Now what that means is that in every law code, there had to be a mechanism for change and for application to new and difficult and different situations. So even if the law was divine law, and a lot of the law here is divine law, there still had to be such a mechanism. And the Torah recognizes this and provides for it. It directs that in such difficult questions, the authorities, meaning the judges and the priests, that is, the authorities in law and religion, in every age, shall determine what to do. This has been done in Judaism for all time. It is an organic system because it does recognize that times change, and when times change, everything may change around it. We have to be adaptable and prepared to change, and we have to expect our leaders to do this, right? And it's a very unique thing, again, in Judaism. And if you're unsure, my friends, then you have the guidance of God with you at all times. So you need to always learn to trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to do the things that only you know best. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to do what's right and not be second guessed. Don't trust me to show you beauty, when beauty may only turn to rust. If you need somebody you can trust, trust yourself. Always trust yourself. We also learn, because we are picking up all the Reader's Digest versions of things, so a lot of stuff gets covered. We learn that the king must write the instruction, and the word for the instruction is Torah. So we're going to see the word Torah here. It's one of the few times the word Torah is mentioned in the Torah. So the king must write the instruction, Deuteronomy 17:18. And it will be when he sits on his kingdom's throne that he shall write himself a copy of this instruction on a scroll from in front of the Levite priest. Now, is that what we've been reading? One of those books, a copy of the law. Mishnah HaTorah Hazot, the repetition of the law, which this book is called. It tells the laws. This doesn't tell us the cosmic tales. This is purely a summary of the laws. And is this business about the king, is this a prediction or is this historical recitation? Because if this is like a book of Moses, this was written way before there were kings. But I suspect it was one of the books of the kings, right? So the prediction, you shall set a king over you, whom the Lord your God chooses. And we know that Israel entered a period of kings. And it means that a prophet, when it says that your God chooses, it means one of the prophets has to designate the king as being chosen by God. Samuel designates Saul and then David. Nathan designates Solomon. And Ahijah designates Jeroboam. Now, the stories of the kings of Israel and Judah in the books of Samuel, Kings and Chronicles, which are much later books of the Bible, convey that kings are acceptable if the people want them. And the people said they did want them. But their power is limited. They weren't treated like other kings. And it was balanced by the power of prophets. This was a constitutional monarchy from 1000 before the Common Era on. Checks and balances exist. Many people were involved. Too many people going underground. Too many reaching for a piece of cake. Too many people pulled and pushed around. Too many waiting for that lucky break. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle. Make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts and honor the relationships in your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything's linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But please do so with sincerity, with accountability, with vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and be compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill, and do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love, for all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. And may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power, my friends, lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, and we help each other. We're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. You're being watched out for, so always be kind. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. We're going to talk about forgiveness. Do not get caught in fear. And remember that forgiveness, my friends, comes from acceptance, and acceptance brings peace, and peace can last forever. So who wouldn't want that? So enjoy the week. Continue to imprint your will upon the universe. Pay attention to your words, because they have a profound effect. Let in the dreams that tell you who you are. Learn to be you. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, whether I find my place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. Gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I wanna live, not purely survive. And I won't give up my dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me. Gotta be me. Thing that I see and makes me what I am. Be yourself, my friends. See the choices of life, see the world, see where you can make a difference, and then do it. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week. Celebrate love and blessings to you all. Take care.